Honey, I just got my new hunting rifle. It's a Thompson center compass. I truly believe best thing in life comes in boxes. No, honey, you are not the best thing in my life. You are my life. Well, today I want to talk about my thoughts in purchasing a new hunting rifle and how to set them up. Over the past 20 years, I've done over 10,000 surgeries. And through those years, I learned to master my tools in my hands. And I use it like an extension of my hand. Just like mastering a surgical tools, I also learned to master my hunting tools as well for the safety and effectiveness of a hunt. I don't believe in buying tools that's beyond my needs or capability. And just like surgical tools, when it comes to hunting rifle or scope, I don't buy what's best out there. I actually buy from a reputable company with a good review and what's easy on my pocket. Okay, this is everything that came in that box. We have Thompson silent compass, a new rifle, and we have Vortex crossfire rifle scope, which is 4x12 and 44 millimeter, and Vortex rifle scope rings. Here is the reason why I just had to buy this new rifle. With the rifle, scope, and the ring, I paid $364.99. And after 75 rebate from Thompson Center, I will be only paying $290. Now, MSRP on this rifle is $399, and the scope is $219, and the rings about $25. So in the real world, this whole setup should cost around $645. I know that nobody pays full MSRP price, but still, $290 is no-brainer. Because Thompson Center wants to retake the market, they're offering this whole combination for such a low price till end of this year. My first impression of the rifle is the stock was actually better than I expected. And the butt pad is very nice, it's soft, and it feels pretty good. And it's got a single stage trigger, which is adjustable from 3.5 to 5 pounds. And it came with a scope base already mounted on. And it has free floating barrel, which is also threaded. And if you look at the bolt, it's got 3 lug bolt, and it's got 3-stage safety. It's got 60-degree lift bolt action, and the action is actually quite smooth. I'm a little surprised by that. Just as I thought, I don't really like the safety here. It feels kind of awkward, and it's kind of stiff to work on. And if you have full safety, you can't move the action at all. And if you have it halfway, you could work the action, but you can't pull the trigger. Now, if you have it on fire, which is all the way into the front, then you get the fire. Now, the trigger actually feels pretty good. It's pretty crisp. It doesn't have any drag, but it feels a little heavy for me. I probably will adjust that to make it a little bit lighter. This magazine should hold 5 rounds, and we'll see how it fits. Now, the first one went in pretty easy, and the second one, with a little guidance with your left thumb, it went in pretty easy. And the third one also went in pretty easy. And the fourth one gets a little stiff, but it went in. And the fifth one gets really stiff. You just kind of have to jam it in there, and it will hold 5. I also bought 3 boxes of Honori Super Performance 6.5 Creedmoor 120 grain GMX. Now this is 100% copper, and I do like copper bullets because in many cases I've seen deals drop on the spot. I am done mounting my scope, and I tried to make a trigger adjustment, and I was really disappointed because it was already set at the lightest weight possible. And I know for a fact it's not 3.5. It feels more like 5 pounds, but it still has a very clean break in it. So as for a hunting rifle, I would still say it's very doable, but I was expecting something like my Savage or my Weatherby, and it was nowhere close to that a trigger. As for the scope, I'm still surprised because see these dials, they're very responsive and they're easy to turn, and it's got a very nice click to it. They guarantee sub MOA at 100 for all their 5-hour rifling barrels. Also, I would like to have my scope mounted a little bit more forward. By adding an additional buttstock, I was able to shoulder this rifle really comfortably, and the scope felt very comfortable. It doesn't feel like it was too close to me. I want to share a little trick that I use to bullseye my rifle. I have my barrel, and you can look at straight down the barrel and aiming at the target that I want, which is right now aiming at 50 yards target, and you could see it right down there, that center. And if you go up and look at the scope, you could see where the crosshair is. If your crosshair is high to left, you should turn your dial to up to left, and they will make an adjustment. Now, it's like bringing your barrel to your crosshair, but in reality, you're actually bringing your crosshair down to what your barrel is aiming at. And another thing that I want to mention is that I will never point my gun, whether it's empty or whether the chamber has been open or if the bolt has been removed. Never aim your gun at something that you do not want to shoot. You should be always pointing at the safe direction. As a retired surgeon, I have seen way too many tragic accidents that could have been avoided with just a simple precaution. And trust me, you do not want to see accidents that happen with guns. By the way, this is my second favorite place in my new house. Obviously, the first place is my gun room. Other than that, this is where I find my peace. There's 30, 40, and 50. Isn't that a beautiful sight? Yesterday was November 18th, first day of rifle season this year, and I decided not to hunt so I could try my new Thompson center compass. So I let one of my hunting buddy's daughter to sit on my stand, and this is what I got from her cell phone, a little bit past 7. I was genuinely excited and happy for her, but that was my number 1 buck on my hit list. So it was a bittersweet moment for me, but I still have 2 more bucks on my hit list. Yesterday was not an ideal day for shooting range. We had a wind up to 15 miles per hour and it was kind of cloudy. But when my friend invited me to come over with him to his friend's farm and shoot 50 calibers and M240 full automatic, I couldn't say no. So I had a blast. The bow sighting at home yesterday. I took my first shot at 25 yards and I can't believe it, but I hit the bullseye. That was a bullseye again. Now this is at 25 yards. At 100 yards, I was shooting about 6-inch high. So I made my adjustment and I was getting about 2-inch grouping. And I wasn't too disappointed because I was still in the process of breaking in my barrel. I have my own short version of barrel breaking where I would clean my barrel with cleaning snake after every shot for the first 10 rounds. And then I would clean it after every 3 shots for the next 12 rounds. I know this is not the method that was recommended by the manufacturer, but this is kind of painless and it really works for me. And the proof is in the pudding. After breaking in my barrel, I took a 3 shot. This is 100 yards. We'll see how. I think I did sub MOA. That looks about 1-inch grouping if you look at the center to center. feels like shooting 243. Okay, there it is. That's, I say a little bit, maybe a little bit more than 1 inch grouping, but still very impressed. Here we go again. The bolt action works really, really well. This is the third one. As you can see, the first two shot was perfect. And then, honestly, I think that was me. I knew I pulled a little bit. On my fourth and final 3-shot grove, I made first 2 shot perfect. And I was left with my last shot. I was so nervous. I had my gun up and down 3 times. And I finally pulled the trigger. And this happened. Look at that.
Oh my God. That's so huge.
So as the barrel is breaking in, you can see that it's getting much, much tighter. That's probably about a 1/2 inch grouping. And I am thrilled about this, man. I am pumped. Just a little bit under 1/2 inch. Am I happy with the result? Yes! And as I was shooting the rifle, I noticed that the bolt action was getting smoother and the trigger was getting a little bit lighter, and the safety, I was able to operate it with a single thumb. Yes, I am still disappointed with the trigger pull and the safety system, but after getting a 1/2 inch grouping yesterday, I've decided to forgive her. I think I'm in love. As for the Vortex, I was very surprised with its quality. I would say this is good as Loophole, but I feel like Loophole has a little bit better lens. Will this stand the test of time? We'll just have to wait and see. Wait a minute, this comes with unconditional lifetime warranty, so it might not really matter. So, if you're looking for a new hunting rifle that shoots like a custom-made rifle at the fraction of what it costs, I would say grab this one before next year, because next year it might cost just a little bit more. For now, I'm gonna stick with the Hornady GMX unless this disappoints me on the field. I heard some people saying you don't really need a sub MOA for hunting. 2 to 3 inch at 100 yards should be more than sufficient. But you really have to think about the pressure that you're under when you're actually hunting. But I truly believe the animals that we shoot at deserve better. So all my hunting rifles, they're all sub MOA at 100 yards. And you'd be surprised some of the rifles that I use, something that you wouldn't expect. With a really, really small modification, you can make this happen. And I would love to review my rifles in the future videos. Thank God for what you have and enjoy your life with what you got. Work hard, play hard, but mostly stay safe. See ya.